have the pleasure of replacing my CEO and the co-founder of Flyability, Patrick Thévoz. Due to a conflict in schedule, he couldn't be here, so I actually have the pleasure and the opportunity of presenting here today at AI for Good. And I'll be talking a little bit about flyability, and specifically I'll be focusing on how drones in general, but our drones in particular, you have an example here, can support UN development goals and in general be a force for good. Flyability's motto has always been to avoid human performing dangerous jobs. Today is Friday, and a week from now, more than three workers won't return home in the US alone from death in the workplace. This is just statistics for the US alone. If we think about this problem on a global scale, the number is significantly larger. I come from Italy. The right to work is instilled in our constitution, article number 1, and yet we're one in the countries with the most deaths in the workplace every year. So this is a topic that is very dear to me. Obviously, when we frame this into the context of UN development goals, first and foremost, we have to think about good health and well-being. There isn't just death in the workplace. Confined spaces, which is what we focus on in particular, tends to be really death traps for workers. And more often than not, they tend to be accidents in the workplace that affect more than one person, because normally what happens in the kind of environments is that one worker goes in, he gets injured or falls or faints due to gases, and the second one comes in trying to rescue him, and the cycle of death continues. Obviously, industry, innovation, and infrastructure are very much at the core of what we perform as a company. Throughout the last almost 15 years, we've been working pretty much across every major infrastructure plan or industry, from oil and gas to mining to maritime to bridges and sewers. And obviously, over the course of the last few years, we actually experienced how our technology can even help in climate action. We actually performed a study in which we were able to demonstrate that through the use of this technology, boilers that run on natural gas or other fossil fuels can run significantly more efficiently through more frequent inspections, and this leads to lower CO2 emissions or greenhouse gas emissions. Still don't understand where I have to point out. There it is. So every hero has a genesis moment, and our genesis moment was the disaster in Fukushima on 11th of March in 2011. And back then, the other co-founder, Adrien Briot, very much the father of Elios, he was a student at the EPFL in Lausanne, and he was sort of struck by the absurdity of seeing the same images, the same tragedy of sending people into harm's way almost 30 years after Chernobyl. So nuclear industry had evolved, world had evolved, but yet we were sending people in hazmat suits to perform simple readings or visual inspections into areas that were obviously completely contaminated and absolutely mortal in terms of dangers for these very brave engineers. So that was sort of something that really resonated with him, and that made him think that there had to be a better way to perform inspections in confined spaces that could allow to prevent loss of life when very simple inspections, very simple jobs, very simple tasks could be performed by robots instead of humans. As a true scientist, and really being loyal and really being close to the tradition of scientists taking inspirations from nature. The very first design of the robot actually took inspiration from the fruit fly. Now, most insects actually avoid collision, but some insects, like the fruit fly, they actually use collision to learn about the surrounding environment and to navigate the surrounding environment. So the very first drone that Adrian created, called the gimbal, pretty much the great-grandfather of the Elios 3 that you see here today, had a very simple but very intuitive and ingenious carbon fiber cage that would allow him to bump into structures, withstand collision, and really allow him to navigate pretty much any environment. And again, I think it's very interesting to reflect how no matter how much technology and evolution surrounds us nowadays, more often than not, good scientists still take very good inspiration from nature. I could be speaking for the next 45 minutes about the beauty of this technology and what it does for you and what it can do for companies. I'll be giving you a very short flight demo later, but I think the next video really shows in the best possible terms the kind of extreme environments that the drone can explore and the kind of data that can be acquired with the drone. So I'll just let the video speak for itself.
Flyability is putting drones in dangerous places, places where people don't or can't go. The ice caves, the lava chutes are dangerous places where there are potential risks of collapse. We can fly the drones in from safe places.
We like to work with Laventa. They are pushing the research. They are working on the global warming problem. They are working with a new point of view that nobody took in consideration before. We have a drone that can do great things for industry, but it can also be used in those kind of expedition to collect data for science and to have a better understanding on the climate warming.
There are places where it's too dangerous. It's simply too dangerous to send one of the team to scout and see what is there or to map. Because of gases, because it's too hot, because it could collapse. Here, the technology of flyability, and especially the new drone with the LiDAR from Oster, is coming into the game. Because we can send, as we would do on another planet, we send a technology to scout, and those coming back with information, like the 3D model. And so we can then merge this 3D model with what we achieved before, and we can get the full view of these environments.
So the one that you just saw was a mission that we performed in Iceland, in one of the volcanic ridges in the northern part of the country. And I love this video. It reminds me very much of one of my favorite movies, Interstellar. And I think it really goes to show the kind of extreme environments that the drone can be put in. And working in this industry, very often the word drone is either associated with deliveries, taxis, or more often than not, sometimes also there is a very ominous meaning to the word drone when we think about it in terms of military applications. So this is actually something that is really designed for good. And contrary to most drones, we actually do not use GPS to navigate the surrounding environments. And the reason is very simple. In these kind of environments, most GPS simply won't work. We're talking about underground mines, underground sewers, culverts, chimneys, areas where you simply wouldn't get a GPS signal, or it would be faulty at best. So again, it's a drone that through technology means, namely LiDAR and other kind of SLAM sensors, is able to navigate even the most intricate environment, and you just seen some examples of that. We're no longer a startup. That's sort of good news and bad news. I think we're more into definitely a scale-up stage. And when we do this kind of presentation, even business-wise, I think the message that we always try to to send across is that this is no longer a prototype. It's a product that already has 3 cycles of iteration and development. We're already working with more than 1,200 customers who have performed more than 100,000 flights. We're not an inspection company. We are an original equipment manufacturer, so we take care of developing the hardware and the software, and most importantly, the know-how that goes with it. We're also a very proud Swiss enterprise based just in the outskirts of Lausanne. When I joined the company approximately 6.5 years ago, we were less than 40, and now we have more than 130 employees and 3 offices globally. Throughout the 3 iteration of the products and the almost 15 years of the company, the value proposition of the solution has always been really built across 3 pillars. So we talked about improved safety.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
About to host the most amazing performance in the main stage.
Should I just wait for the...
Please make your way there. Grab
I guess you should just wait.
now. It will be starting shortly before kicking off the daily sessions. Thank you very much. Make your way there now. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we talked about improved safety, and once again, confined spaces in general can be really associated with danger almost by definition. There are significant benefits in terms of reduced downtimes. For instance, when we talk about nuclear power plants, we can reduce the amount of downtime related to shutting down the operations entirely to allow the entrance of an inspection team from days to hours, with incredible benefits for the grid and also obviously for the top line of the asset owners. There are also lower costs associated with the OPEX of performing certain inspections, as you suddenly do not need to set up very expensive and time-consuming scaffolds or dangerous, time-consuming and expensive rope access teams if you need to inspect hanging objects or very large structures, again, like boilers, chimneys, or similar. This is a video presentation of the Elios 3. As I mentioned, it is our latest creation. It's a solution that was launched approximately 1 year ago. It has very quickly become our breadwinner in terms of revenues, and again, it's a product that it's receiving accolades across many industries, and it's a solution that is really...
Ladies and gentlemen, the main stage is about to start. Can you please go into the auditorium and take your seats? The main stage is about to begin.
It's also a solution that, from an engineering point of view, has really been designed to be future-proof, as it includes a payload system that it's multifaceted. So very recently, we actually launched the first payload integration, which is
Ladies and gentlemen, the main stage is about to begin. Please make your way to the auditorium and take your seats. Thank you.
Which actually integrates a Geiger sensor, so that's an ideal. It's an ideal function. A lot of our business comes from deployments and use in nuclear power plants, as I mentioned earlier, and obviously the first integration that we've thought of.
One of the world's best drummers will be playing with an AI on the main stage in about 30 seconds.
Using a Geiger sensor were obviously the first payload that we thought about because of our significant presence in the nuclear industry, and once again because this is clearly the typical or one of the most obvious areas of danger where we can actually help reduce exposures and risks for workers in a very short time. The integration of a LiDAR opens the doors to a wide array of applications. We suddenly transition from only visual inspections to digital applications, and effectively this means that we're entering the world of digital inspections very aggressively. This means that suddenly we went from being able to capture only visual details and defects about a particular asset to having the possibilities of creating digital twins. The LiDAR is also the payload that allows us to work more proactively and with a clearer schedule on autonomous flight. With the prototype of the Elios 3, we won the DARPA competition for underground already 2 years ago, and during that competition, we already started deploying an algorithm for autonomous flight. We believe that in the next 18 to 24 months, we'll be able to achieve progressively return to signal, return to home, and then fully autonomous flying. What we hope to achieve is basically an end-to-end solution that will allow asset owners, inspection companies to deploy the drone autonomously on a daily basis or even more regularly and perform the inspections safely without minimal risk from human beings, and with the ability to capture, process, analyze, and distribute information in a safe and efficient manner autonomously. I guess I'll proceed with the demonstration of the drone briefly, if I can, and later on I'll take your questions. Thank you.